you're doing well. If you don't already know who it is, the one and only, the true Alex J. Today I'm going to be talking about burnout and how to avoid burnout. Don't already know what burnout is. It's basically, do you know when you have that raw passion inside and you're like, I really want to do something, and you're fully going at it, and maybe it could be like, I want to go to the gym, I want to exercise, and you're really excited, you're really motivated, and you go a couple of times, and then a few months later you don't bother going. Next thing you know, a whole year's gone past and you're thinking, shall I just cancel my membership for the gym? Or maybe like you're in sales and you're doing really well at the beginning, you get a few sales in, and then it kind of slows down and you can't be bothered. Or you're like, I'm going to start a business, and I mean, there's so many examples, but burnout is when you have that raw passion, that raw feeling inside, I'm going to do something, and you don't do it. So this is how you can avoid burnout. Now there's actually 3 different types of burnout. One of them is called overload. Now overload is when you've got so much coming on and you just feel a lot of pressure, and you start complaining about something. So you could be like, you're going to the gym, you're kind of working out, but it's not going as fast as you want, and then you start complaining about it. And the thing is, as you start complaining about it, it builds up, and then it starts turning into stress, and as you start getting more and more stressed, you don't feel like doing it anymore, and then by default you end up quitting. And that could also be in a work environment as well. Maybe inside your work environment, you start complaining about management, and you're like, yeah, it's their fault, and you start passing the blame, and next thing you know, you're not as motivated as you once were. And there's also lack of development, which is kind of what I was talking about earlier, which is again the same kind of thing. It's not just complaining, it's where you really aren't seeing the result, because you set your expectation here and things are going here, and you're not happy with it. You're like, it's not going as fast as I want, it's really not, and then again you end up giving up. And there's also neglect. There's also neglect, which is the third type, and this is where you want to achieve a certain goal, you want to get there, but you keep hitting certain barriers. So like, let's say for example, you're like, I want to make this really cool business, I want to do this, and then you got something that knocks you, like a tennis coach course. You're really motivated, you got the company registered, and you're really excited, and you're not getting as many clients as you want. That's knock number 1. Then you get your bills come in and they're really high and you can't quite get it. That's knock number 2. And then you're trying to build a website and it's taking a lot longer than you expected, and that's hit number 3. Then you're trying to run ads but they're not converting as well as you wanted. That's knock number 4. And then next thing you know, you're like, I'm done. So that's neglect. So how can you get around those types of things? How can you avoid those kinds of burnouts? And how can you stay motivated to go through? There's different types of things that you can do to motivate yourself. One of them is you can watch a motivational video. I love watching me some motivational videos. There's one with Will Smith that I absolutely love, and it's a great one. I've also got my own motivational video. I'll put the link over there so you can press on that. But the point is that you want to stay motivated, you want to stay determined. So I really honestly think that listening to motivational speeches and watching motivational videos really does help, definitely with me. It's about mindset. You have to have a very clear mindset as well. So I'd also recommend you do some mindset training. Maybe you want to start reading a few different books. There's lots of different books that you can read that hopefully will help motivate you, will hopefully help push you through. Just here in front of me right now, I've got so many books right now. In fact, I've got these 2 books that I really love. This is Jumpstart Your Leadership. I've also got Jumpstart Your Priorities. These are really cool. They're like 60-day plans. Every day you have to fill in notes. So like day 1, let me just do day 5 because that's the page that I turned to. Do I look good? Do I look really good reading a book? Let's take a photo of that one. Our attitudes control our lives. Attitudes are a secret power working 24 hours a day, for good or bad. It is of paramount importance that we know how to harness and control this great force. And then there's like a bit more, and then it says, thing to do for today. It says, find your attitude quotes or positive sayings and write them down here. Then write them on individual sheets of paper and place them in places where you will see them several times a day. Next to your computer, on your bathroom, mirror, in your daily planner, etc. And honestly, you just go through and you fill out the book, and it's really good, and you do that for 60 days, so it kind of helps. I really think the mindset is really important, and it's something that you must work on, especially if you're an entrepreneur, because it can be really difficult sometimes. Sometimes can be harder than others. You might have a really good month, you might have a really bad month, but the aim of the game, and something that I learned a long time ago, just because you have a bad day Don't allow that to then turn into a bad week, and don't allow a bad week to turn into a bad month, because then next thing you know, you've had a bad year, and then you're hitting like 2018 is gonna be my year, and then it all falls apart again. So really do jump straight in. I really recommend that you do some mindset training, watch some motivational videos, watch some persistent videos. There's also some really great films out there that might help you. The Social Network's pretty good. We just watched one about McDonald's. I can't remember the name of the movie, but that was pretty good. I've watched quite a lot of different movies about businesses that have succeeded and businesses that have failed, and it's just interesting to get to know. Another thing that I think really helps with burnout as well is increasing the quality of your circle, the people that you surround yourself by. If you've got good people by your side, and not just yes men, but you've got good people by your side that motivate you, that push you, that maybe they're doing better than you in something that you're already trying to achieve, and you can just follow them and watch them and kind of, and take in as much as you can. But just make sure that you've got a good quality circle, that the people around you are actually good and they're not, really crummy. The worst kind of people that you can be around is negative people. If I've got people around me and they're all like, man, I don't think that's possible. Oh, I don't know. I don't think you should do that. I don't have those kind of people around me. I just cut them out because it's a headache. It's a headache having those people in your life. You don't want to have those kind of people around you because they're not going to motivate you. They're going to demotivate you. They're going to put you down. They're going to keep you in a bad mindset, and then you're going to feel the burnout because they're quitting, so you're going to quit in your mind, and it's just going to be a horrible circle. So get negative people out of your life. And I know you probably hear that a lot, but there's a reason you hear it a lot, because it's actually important. So don't just hear it and go, yeah, man, definitely cut out negative people from my life. And then you got Sam over here going, yeah, I don't think it's going to work. You're like, yeah, Sam, you're right. You can't agree and disagree with yourself. So please fix that. Also, it's really important to sometimes say no. Sometimes you shouldn't just say yes to everything and anything just because. You need to say no. If something isn't going to work and you don't feel that it's going to work for you, just say no. Like, that's going to take a lot of time. It's going to distract you from what you're already doing. Just say no. Don't accept it. All my friends, they want to go out on Friday. They're going to go to the club. I want to hit the club. No, just say no, because it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, and you could be learning in that time, or you could be building your business, or you could just be improving your life in general. I would rather do that than spend time at the club. That's just me personally, but I recommend everyone kind of falls into line with that. Another thing that's really going to help you is when you're writing down your goals, don't set a goal up here and then put your workload down here. That doesn't make any sense. I've seen so many people and so many businesses fail because they're like, their expectations are here, this is what I want, this is what I want to achieve, and then their goals are all the way down. Like, what they're actually going to do is all the way down here. They'll be like, yeah, man, I want to achieve $1 million in a year. And I'm like, that's cool, man, what are you going to do? They'll be like, well, we're going to try this, maybe we'll try that. Like, they're never going to really achieve that goal. So I always say, set a goal too high and then work out how you'll make that possible. So I need to do 10 times more of this, I need to do 20 times more this, I need to do this. Like, if you can figure it out like that, it's a lot easier, because then you've already set your goal, you're working at a much higher rate, you're doing way more in terms of work, like the quantity of work that you're doing, the scale of the work that you're doing, which means by default, you're going to achieve more than you would have, which means you're more likely to then come closer to your goal. So let's say that you said, I'm going to make $1 million, and you're working towards that goal, but you'd never even made 50,000 before. You might hit 100,000, you might hit 200,000, you might hit 300,000. Like, you'll fall short, but I would rather fall short that's way above what I would normally achieve than just say I want to achieve. If I was hitting 50,000, I was like, I want to hit 100, because then if you fall short, you'll hit the 50,000, you're going to be pissed off again. So say I want to achieve like this one and then work towards that, and if you fall a little bit short, hey, you still made it out okay. You also want to make sure that you've got like a daily ritual, that you've got like a daily plan. Me personally, I do a schedule of every 30 minutes what I want to do. So this is this. This is what I'm going to do in this time. This is what I'm going to do this time. This is what I'm going to do this time. I try to take a break every hour for about 30 minutes to make sure that I'm not stressing myself out with all the work that I'm doing. But by doing that, it's going to allow you to do more work in a short period of time. I actually did a video about this. I definitely would recommend checking that video out. And it tells you how to manage your time correctly. It's a great video. I really would recommend checking it out after this video is finished, and there'll be a link in the description. So there's so many things that you can do to avoid burnout. Another thing that I'd really recommend is that you track your progress. So this is where I want to be. this is where I'm at now, and be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. This is where I'm at now, this is where I want to be, and then work your way towards that goal. And even the little changes, you can note them down and say, because that feel good. Like, I went from only making like $10 a day, and now I'm making $100 a day, or I only wanted to I'm making $100 a day, I want to make 1,000 a day. Like, when you're doing that, it feels real. Like, it feels so much better than just I made $1,000 this day, but I didn't do anything for the another 2 days, and then I only made $100. Like, you can't be doing that. You need to make sure that you've got your daily goals set down. You're knocking each of the goals down. If you don't achieve the goal, don't sulk about it. Figure out why. Why didn't I achieve that goal? What did I do wrong? And blame yourself. It's so much easier than saying it was Steve's fault, it was Bob's fault. Like, you can't do that, because if you go down that route, then you're giving away all responsibility, which means it can't be changed. But if you take full responsibility, that means that you're able to then change it and improve it, and your life can get better because you are taking full control. So that's another kind of thing that I would do, that I'd really recommend at night. You sit down and say, why haven't I achieved my goals? And then you kind of break that down and say, this is what I'm going to do tomorrow to improve that. This is what I'm going to do next week to ensure that I never have that problem again. Another thing as well is you want consistency. If you're, again, especially if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, or you're in sales, you want to make sure that you're getting a consistent amount of money, because otherwise it can be like really fluctuating and it's really stressful. So in order to do that, you need to say, okay, this is where I'm at the moment. This is kind of what I'm achieving. And then try and work and say, okay, I made $1,000 this day. What did I do in order to achieve that? And how can I do that again and again and again? How can I replicate that? And how can I scale it up? Once you've done that, it then becomes a lot easier to then get more consistent with your money. So you might one day, let's say that you're used to making like $100 a day, and then you scale up, and then you're doing 100, 100, 100, 500, 100, 100, 100, or like it kind of averages out like that. So like 100, 100, like it just averages. When you do that, you can say, right, why did I make $500 that day? Was it that we was in a particular article? Was it that we put out a blog post? Was it that we did a really good video that went, a lot more viral than we expected, and that drew loads of traffic? Was we on Reddit? Like, what is it that caused that to happen? And once you can figure that out, you can kind of reverse engineer it and do it backwards and say, okay, cool, I'm going to do a lot more of that. I'm going to spend a lot more focus on trying to make sure that keeps happening, to then bring in more money. So that way, when it goes 100, 100, 500, 500, 100, you can be like, okay, there's something here. Like, we're slowly getting there. And then 100, 100, 300, 500, 600. And then, you see what I'm getting at. You can keep expanding it and keep bringing it up. And that'll make you a very happy man. I've also heard a lot about positive affirmations, which is where you stand in the mirror and you tell yourself good things about yourself. Like, you are the best. You can do it. You can achieve greatness. You are ready for success. Da, da, da. I do that. I don't do it every day, but I do actually do that occasionally. Does it work? Again, it depends how consistent you are with it. It does work if you want it to work. That's probably the best way to explain it. For me, I love being able to push myself. I love being able to sit down and say, right, this is what I want to achieve, and this is what I'm going to do, and I really push myself towards that. I know another thing that I love doing as well is speed. I love really running at things. So it's like, this is what I want to achieve. I'll run it full on, and the problems that come, I'll quickly solve them as quickly as I can, but I need to get to that goal as quickly as I can. For me, I don't like things taking too long. I hit burnout, I get stressed out if something's taking too long, so I love to just go all in as fast as I can, as aggressive as I can, and try and make it happen, because by doing that, at least I will see results. The worst thing that you can have is, you're busting for 3 months or 6 months because you're working slowly and you're not seeing results yet, or you're starting to see them but they're too small. For me, if I go at something really quickly and really hard and I just put everything in that I can, I will see results. And because I'm seeing results, I'll be happy. Even if they're small results, I'll be really happy. And then I can work on that and scale it out. So that is my recommendation to you on how to avoid burnout. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure to press that thumbs up button and show me your love. And please also make sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe to this channel. There's a lot more videos coming, and there's a lot more already on the channel. And also, please, if you want, you can find me on facebook.com/the true Alex J. You can also find me on instagram.com/AlexJ020. There's also a link in the description if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur and you need help growing and expanding. There's a link in the description for a free consultation. It's completely free for 1 hour, and we'll consult you and we'll help you expand your business. But in the meantime, peace.